Hello, welcome once again to Central State University Extension Kuykendall with EFNEP. Today we're going to do a wonderful weeknight dish, quick, simple, very easy, or you can pivot to the weekend and turn this into, with the little tweaks, turn this into a really great cheeseburger hamburger helper. So with that being said, let's get started. So this chili mac recipe is super easy. Unlike, however, the box mac that we are used to, it is very low in sodium, but still really, really flavorful. So the ingredients are a pound of ground turkey, keeping it lean, but of course we can always use ground beef. We're gonna use a cup of elbow pasta. Any pasta would work. So if you have penne pasta, that is ideal. If you have rotini, you can use that as well. We're also going to include 15 ounces of diced tomatoes. And this is the special ingredient. This is the Eating Smart seasoning mix. And we'll go over the details of this recipe later. And of course, it would not be chili mac if it were not for the chili powder. All right, so let's get started. We're going to get our ground turkey into our non-stick pot. Let's get the heat turned up. And we're going to brown that. So why did we choose turkey? So we chose turkey because turkey is a much leaner meat. But unlike ground beef, it is greatly reduced in fat. And so sometimes when we go to leaner meats, sometimes folks feel that you are compromising flavor because fat equals flavor, but you can mitigate that and you can boost the flavor by adding a little bit more seasoning to this recipe. But it's totally customizable to your preference. But again, we want to be sure that as often as possible, we want to go to leaner meats. So we're getting this in here. We're going to get this cooking. Turn up a little bit more. And then we will add the remaining ingredients. So we'll be back. All right, we are almost near completion of browning our ground turkey. It is crumbling up really, really well. So I'm just breaking up the turkey so it's nice and crumbly. All right, so we are just about there. Okay. So next in this recipe, we're going to bring down the heat to medium. And we're going to go on with the rest of our ingredients. So we're going to start first with our Eating Smart seasoning mix, dry seasoning mix. And remember, this is comprised of dry milk, minced onion, garlic powder, onion powder, and some parsley. It does not have any salt, but it is indeed going to flavor this dish really, really nicely. So for every pound of ground meat, we use a half a cup of seasoning mix. So I'm going to go in and sprinkle it. There. Goes over to the side. Going with my 2 teaspoons of chili powder. And of course, if you like it spicy, add some more. We're going to go in with our diced tomatoes. I'm going to give this a stir before adding our last ingredient, because I want to be sure everything is blended really, really well. Okay, and there we have it. Good. Moving right along really well. And so now goes in our pasta, our dry pasta. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cover this with our cold water. Now the key for this pasta to cook is it's got to be well covered. So the recipe says 1 cup, but sometimes depending on the depth of your pan, how wide it is, you may need to add a little bit more water, and then that's the case here. Because we've got to ensure that it's enough liquid to cook the pasta. So I've got a pitcher of water here on the side, and that does it. And we want to be sure that, again, everything is well combined and that our pasta is covered so that it will cook. And I think I want to add a little bit more. Okay, there we go. That does it. All right, let me get this last little bit off of here. There we go. Okay, so then we're going to increase the heat up to high so that we can get it boiling, and then we will put it down to medium low. Okay, so there we have it. I don't know if I showed you guys how that looked. Let me have you all take a look. So that is how it looks. Alfred can get in there and take a look. So everything is well combined and the pasta is covered. So we're going to cook that for probably about 15 to 20 minutes, or probably not that long, because our ground turkey's already cooked. So probably more like about 10. All right, and we'll be back. Okay, so while our chili mac is cooking, we're gonna take a minute and we're gonna put together this seasoning mix that makes all the difference. That takes this, this home hamburger helper to the level that it needs to be so that your kids are not missing anything with that box mix. So what does it contain? It contains 2 cups of dry milk, and that's what I have here. We're gonna add to it minced dried onions, and so we're gonna do 3/4 of a cup of that. So I'm gonna get that measured out here. I pre-measured these earlier, so I should be, yep, there we go. So we're gonna start blending this. And next we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of parsley, 1 tablespoon of dried garlic powder, and 1 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. So this mix, after it's well combined, just put it in a storage container and keep it in a cool, dry place. You don't want to put it in the refrigerator. That will change the texture and bring some moisture into the dry milk, but just in a cool spot into your pantry. And it is good probably for about, I go through this pretty quick, so I would say storage time probably about a month, month and a half. But then really just kind of make what you need. All right. So let's check on our chili mac, and we are good. So the last and final ingredient is the cheese. So we're gonna go in with some shredded cheddar cheese, not too much. And then get this combined. Give it a chance to kind of melt. And then we'll be ready to plate this up. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to melt. Get this cheese out the way. Put a little bit on this side, get my plate balanced. All right. For presentation, we'll add just a little bit of cheese, not too much, just to kind of make it look a little pretty. And there you have it, chili mac. All right, thanks for joining me, and see you again soon.